to all the love that you guys have been giving me on my Instagram. Mother is working. Again, I apologize. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not abandoning y'all. If y'all following me on my Instagram and Twitter, y'all know what's going on. Mother's life is about to change, but I'll talk about that a little bit later in another review. But I wanted to get this up to you as soon as possible. I also let you guys know that I was filming this week. I'm done. I have a free week next week, so I'm going to do the reviews, do the Basketball Wives reviews that night, because I don't have anything going on. If something changed, I'll let you know. But I'll be able to get these up to you a lot quicker and faster. And moving forward, I'll post that in another video. I'm going to change the format just so no matter where I'm at, I can get these videos up to you, because right now I've created a format that is a bit difficult for me to keep up if I'm like working or traveling. So I've reworked it a bit, and starting next week I'm going to show you guys the new format and talk about it before I roll it out, and hopefully it works for you guys, because I enjoyed this. I really do. Like, I'm tired, but I make time for this because I enjoy it, and I'm just very thankful for other people who tune in to me. Makes the sister feel good. Anyway, girl, let's get into it. So we pick back up after Tammy made that awkward Chad comment. That's where this episode starts up again, and it's uncomfortable. Like, Tammy crossed the line. I know she was hurt, but it's like, girl, even the people who are riding for you could not ride with that. Like, I couldn't do it. But I still don't understand why Evelyn, well, I kind of understand, but it's just still like baffling me that nobody else in the group is saying anything. Like, why aren't you mad at Jen? Why you keep on trying to pick beef with Tammy when Jen was the one who said in that text message and said, hey, here is tea to bring that, did she call her witch? Yeah, witch. Here's the tea to bring that witch down. Now, my theory is that Evelyn don't want no smoke with Jen, because we've seen that Jen is messy, and she don't want her telling no more of her business, because if that's one of the little secrets that she got, Lord knows what else she got on Evelyn. So, you know, you keep your friends close and your enemies even closer, so she's being wise with that. Also, she wants to keep some allies on the show, because as it's looking, I don't think that Jen is coming back. Like, we all know that when you mess up with Shawnee, that's it. You're done. So we don't see her coming back. So Evelyn not trying to rock the boat with nobody, but she also don't want Tammy to stay on the show, knowing that she also used some stuff that Evelyn said to her in secrecy on the show. Because listen, this is the thing, right? If Evelyn was lying about the things with Chad, horrible. Horrid. However, if she's discussing her domestic violence situation with you in secrecy as a friend, because even Tammy admitted she's told her that when they were cool, it's just ugly for you to use that as a weapon against her. You know what I mean? Like, it's like how even Evelyn said, it's like you're re-victimizing her. So I couldn't rock with it. And I understand where Tammy is coming from. You know what I mean? If she told you something and she's making it look different in the media, I get it. But the thing is, we the viewers weren't there. So we can't ride with you on that, because we only see her split forehead. You know what I mean? So it's just a touchy situation, and Tammy shouldn't have touched it. She shouldn't have touched it, but also she should not be the one being brought down in this. It should be Jen, because Jen brought this huge bomb to the group. Now that her and Evelyn is cool again, she wants everybody to forget about it and focus on Tammy, but it's just like, girl, you were the one feeding people information to take down Evelyn, because y'all were on the out. So you got to own that as well. I feel like Tammy is wrong for mentioning it to Shawnee, because her intentions behind it was not pure. It wasn't like, oh, you know how one of you, especially if you're in like a group, a clique of friends that are really tight, you know how some people are not closer to other people in the group, but some people know that this person can't hold water, so you don't tell them nothing. But you know that this person knows everybody's secret, and no matter how upset they've gotten, they've never like spilled their tea. So that's the one you go to with everything, because that person who holds a secret is also always normally great at giving advice, right? You can't be that person in the group and then just spill everything, because then people start looking at you like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? You have so much power, and now everybody is uncomfortable around you because you're spilling some stuff that could really damage somebody's life. So I can't. This was uncomfortable for me because Tammy's my favorite on this show, and I didn't like it. I didn't like her in that instance because she is that friend who holds all the tea and gives great advice. But when she revealed Evelyn's or whatever Evelyn said to her concerning Chad in private, she did not do it in a way that was to help. You know what I mean? So it was just her actions were just very negative. It was of course they were in battle, right? You know how I'm always like, even if we're in a fight, whoever hits, you know what I mean? Like I don't measure that kind of stuff because when you're in a battle, it is what it is. You can't be mad that the other person got the best of you. However, it's like what Tammy did, like everybody got silent. You know what I mean? And to be honest, she wanted it to get here. But it just backfired on her because remember, when she revealed that stuff to Shawnee, it was because she was angry and she wanted to create a separation. And she was so focused on creating that separation and getting Evelyn out that she inadvertently got herself out. Tammy! So I also heard on the street, word on the street is that this is Tammy's last season, so she just really don't care. So she was saying whatever. And it was really, she didn't have any senses on her this season because it's her last season. I do, however, feel like, because remember when I said in my earlier review, Tammy's last season is going to be the day where the season where she reads everybody down. I was wondering why, if this is your last season, why are you handling Shawnee so delicately? And then it hit me, Shawnee's an EP. I think that Shawnee has her hands, because the word is that Tammy got a different show on VH1 considering her marriage and her family. So I'm thinking that maybe Shawnee has her hands in that in some kind of way. So Tammy is protecting the money. So she's not really going to go off on Shawnee like she normally would if Shawnee didn't really hold the keys to her success. But she is doing really well outside of the show. Like she booked an Apple TV movie with Octavia Spencer. You know what I mean? Like she's co-starring with an Oscar winner. So she's doing well. She really, really is. So maybe later on we'll hear some true tea from Tammy when she gets to the point where she feels like she doesn't need the support of Shawnee anymore. And we'll get some true tea on this show. Because I feel like she wants to speak, but she can't because it's just not, business-wise, you can't make those decisions. You can't tread on your money, especially when you're on the up and up or making a comeback. Let me tell you something. Jackie, she hit the nail on the head. She said, oh, this is some Miami business. This don't have nothing to do with us, so I'm staying out of it. That's the best decision Jackie has ever made on this show. Just staying out of it, minding her business, not getting in the thick of this mess, especially if it don't have nothing to do with them or their location. That's all Miami mess that has never been dealt with. Like I said before, Tammy is still hurting from that non-factor. Like Evelyn, listen, man, if Twitter was around this, if social media was around popping like that, woo, it would have been some stuff because listen, Evelyn, what the hell is this? Child? Is it from my fan? Anyway, Evelyn made t-shirts, guys. She was on TV shows talking about it, selling the t-shirts. It was just, oh my gosh. Tammy was humiliated. She was mortified because this woman who slept with the side chick told her that she wasn't a factor in her marriage. That cut her deep. And I don't care how many makeups they have made, Tammy never got over that. And I don't feel like she feels like she fully got back at Evelyn for what she did. That's why that Chad thing slipped out, because she wants to, not her fully. I think it's something in her that has not healed from that Miami non-factor mess that just wants to destroy Evelyn. It's that hurt and that pain, that stuff that hasn't been healed, just wants her to be destroyed so that she can feel better about the situation, so that she can be, I gotcha, because I don't think Evelyn understands. I don't think anybody on the cast understands how much that hurt her. That first season, the ladies were brutal to her. Brutal. So I don't think she ever got over that. And as we can see later in this episode, she didn't. So Evelyn doing this domestic violence thing for the Evelyn Lozada Foundation. People who like name foundations after themselves, I'm always looking at you sideways, because something about it is just like, it's so self-serving, and charity is not supposed to be that, but it is what it is. she's talking about this whole women's empowerment thing and really using domestic violence at the forefront of that. I get it, right? But for me, what would have been more empowering, because you know I hate when they talk about women's empowerment on these shows. I said it before and I'll say it again. Every time any woman on these reality TV shows mentions the words women's empowerment, a feminist dies. So Evelyn is constantly killing somebody on the show. Her and Shawnee, every time they mention that, poor feminist is probably over there rallying for somebody, and all of a sudden, right in the heart, damn, Evelyn mentioned me. Anyway, what would have been empowering, in my opinion, for Evelyn to do is to reach out to Tammy and be like, listen, you are a woman of domestic violence. You have experienced it. We have talked about that. I am someone who has experienced domestic violence as well. We have spoken about that. I want us to get through this together. We both have something that we can share, and what we're dealing with right now does not compare to what we can do together. Also, I would have loved for her to have reached out to the women on this show that she has terrorized, her and Tammy, that she has terrorized, and also do some healing with them as well. So it could be like a full circle, full circle healing. The women that I have abused, the women who have abused other women, the women who have we have mutually abused each other. Let's get some healing in this as well. Let's apologize to each other. Let's show the world what women are capable of doing when we start to heal. Let's heal each other through one another, and then let's address the men that harm us, how to stop it, and how we can protect each other. I would have respected that. That would have been so big of her. That would have been so big of her, because although Tammy hasn't voiced it, Evelyn gotta know. Evelyn got it. Any woman, I don't care how much you feel like you and this woman have matured, y'all over it. Any woman who is constantly still in the presence of another woman who slept with not just your boyfriend, your husband, there's always something there. Even if y'all heal and y'all say y'all good, you know how those the stepmoms and the kids' mom will be like, well, we're one big happy family. We've moved on past this. Okay. Y'all moved on past this, but please believe the first wife is praying that you fall down the flight of steps. She'll pray for you after, but she's praying for you to fall down them steps because that pain is still there. That's not healed. Maybe she put a Band-Aid over it, but every time she look at you and the new family pictures, knowing that was her spot and knowing that you were sleeping with her husband when she was in that spot, even if y'all have moved on and made up and the kids are older, we're one big happy family now. He takes care of all of us. We've moved on. We're mature. We're a modern family. Let's show the world how it's done. Please believe that first wife hates your soul. Don't get it twisted. She's always waiting for something. She'll feel bad about it later, like, oh my goodness, I didn't know that was still in me. Tammy moved on with Evelyn. Didn't know that was still in her till something came up, and it's like a rage came out of her. And to Evelyn, she's just like, what? I thought we moved past it. She didn't. That woman ain't healed from that. So there was something like that was bound to happen. So I understand Evelyn's shock and frustration, and I understand Tammy's anger. But I just wish that they both would have came together and used this time to really, or this foundation, this event that Evelyn is having, to really show women's empowerment. Now that is women's empowerment, because women are constantly used against each other. So to be like, listen, these men did this. You know what I mean? Evelyn was wrong. But whatever, Marcus, whatever his name is, but he was married to Tammy. He went before God and his family and said those vows to her and made that honor, made that covenant with her, not Evelyn. I don't know. I just would have preferred that to be, the real women's empowerment besides this BS stuff that she did. I'm glad that she was able to help people or whatever, but I was just like, girl, that's the women's empowerment that make you comfortable. Healing is not going to be comfortable. So that's just, I don't know. It just seemed very fluff to me, but I'm glad whoever needed to be helped was helped. Kristen is a sad case. You know what I mean? Like, she got on my nerves, but just watching her throughout every episode on the show, now it's just sad. Because at this healing dinner, all this healing, with Jackie, Malaysia, and Cece, she brings Jen, and the whole time she's like, I brought my big sis. My big sis is here to have my back. And it's like, you don't even know her. Why is she your big sis? But Kristen so desperately wants to be with the cool kids. She's so desperate to be with the cool girls that she is sacrificing not only a friendship that she's had for a long time, but a family relationship. Like, what if Cece ends up marrying like this, who I guess the guy's like a cousin or something to the dude that she would. Anyway, she's going to have more stake in that friendship, that relationship with Cece than she is with Jen. You know, because at that point, Cece then becomes family. So it's like, and if they're building and y'all already calling each other family, you guys are in a space that you are not with Jen. But for you to just be so nasty and bring somebody that humiliated Cece, even if Cece was wrong, I don't agree with Cece not sticking up for herself. I don't agree with her thinking that Kristen is supposed to fight her battles. I also don't agree with Kristen throwing her under the bus. You know what I mean? With Kristen talking about Cece behind her back to people because she's trying to get in. It reminds me of model minorities. I know I'm going deep here, but you know how I'll just use my people. There are non-black minorities who do not like black people and have no other reason for not liking us but to show white people that they don't like us either. So it'll be two things. It'll be like, we don't like them either, so leave us alone and leave us out of it. And it's also, we don't like them either because we also think that we're superior. Can you please let us into white supremacy? So that's what that whole situation is with Kristen. I know I went way deep, but it just reminded me of that. I was like, this is how model minorities act towards black people. It's like she so desperately wants to be in, so she's showing them that she's not loyal to her, that she knows that she's superior to her. She doesn't dress like that. She doesn't act like that. She acts like them. I'm one of you guys. This is my big sis. It's really sad. It's really, 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 really sad. And then even when Jen showed her how messy she wasn't even ready for it. Malaysia already had an issue with Jen at the dinner. And then to see Jen sit down there after Cece got her together, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, she was a little scared when she was a little bit scared when she said it. But I think she had more heart in front of Jen than Evelyn because she's seen Evelyn's ways. But I love that she was just like, yeah, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and you can't hold the secret because you want some mess. Like, Cece was ready. And I appreciated that because that's what she needed to do the whole time. You got to come at that Goliath right face to face. You know what I mean? You can't play with them broads because if they try you and they feel like they got you, they'll keep on doing it. So I was glad that she was able to come back at them. But then messy Jen looks at Kristen and says, well, you told me y'all not even that close. Cameras, all of that stuff aside, if I was Cece, I would feel heartbroken. I would feel heartbroken that this chick that you don't even know was able to look at you in your eye and tell you, concerning me, that we're not really that close when we've been calling ourselves family, when we've been spending all this time together. Like, Kristen, it's just sad. It's so sad. It's just like junior high flunky, try to get in with, the JV cheerleader. It's just, it's sad. She's a grown woman with a daughter. What the hell? Please don't pass that on to your child. Let her stand up for herself. Let her be a boss. You know what I mean? Train her to be a leader and not a follower, because that's what Kristen is showing on this show right now. She's a follower when she damn well could be a leader. It's sad. What y'all think? Because when I was watching that scene, I was like, Kristen, what happened in your childhood where you felt like you had to sacrifice everything to belong to a clique that you know nothing about? It's the glitz and the glamour. It's the outfits. It's, trended on Twitter. Is it the Instagram followers? Is it the YouTube subscribe? I'm telling you, people will do something strange for an Instagram follower. They really, really would. Hashtag Claremont twins. See? You see how all that illusion is being broken up? And that all that stuff that they thought they had? I'm telling you, people be living different lives on Instagram. What I'm living on the gram, what I'm living on the tube, what I'm living on the Twitter is my real life. I ain't got it, but I will. And when I have it, baby, you better be ready. Hey, hey. So now we move on to Tammy and OG meeting up and then planning to do like a double date, with their boyfriends. I like OG. I don't care. I like her. She has I don't know if she's allergic to lip liner. I don't know what it is. But OG loves a pale lipstick without a liner. Dark skin chick to fellow dark skin chick. If you gonna wear something light, you gotta wear a liner because it doesn't blend into our face, so it just looks weird. You look thirsty, you look crackish. You have to do a liner, sis. And since we're here, let's talk about how Tammy is still saying that OG is ugly, but not really saying it. Because when she saw her boyfriend at their double date, she was just like, oh my goodness. I'm just surprised that that's what her boyfriend looks like. Like, she wanted to say, OG to me is ugly. I can't believe that she has somebody that's attractive. That's why I'm always riding for her, y'all. They're just being very mean. Like, who are you to call somebody ugly? Who are you? Like, you cannot do that. I don't like when people do that. I do not like when people do that. Even if that's how you feel, it's something horrid when you say it. When you have enough chutzpah to voice that kind of negativity and evil that could really affect somebody like that. Listen, I don't know. It bothers me. It bothers me. You know what I mean? Like, it bothers me that OG doesn't wear a lip liner. Because it's just like, sis, I'm riding for you. I want to have your back, and I do have your back. You got to help me. Oh, OG and Kwame. I wouldn't put them together. Sis, we wouldn't put you and Reggie together, but here we are. Long distance relationships either end up in marriage or Evelyn sleeping with your husband. Yes, Tammy. Now we're at the Evelyn Lozada charity shoot, whatever this thing is, right? All the ladies come to it. Kristen, Shawnee, Jen, Evelyn's there. Did Jackie come? Jackie didn't come. Did OG come? Girl, I don't remember, but they was there, right? However, Shawnee was on her way in. Shawnee was there. Jen was on her way in. And everything was fine and dandy until Jen called and Shawnee was just like, Shawnee is at the point where she's just like, I'm not filming with her. So when she knew that Jen was on her way in, she decided to leave. Jen is playing a very dangerous game, and this is how I know for sure that she is not coming back next season, because when she got into the event and Evelyn told her why Shawnee left, Jen was just like, oh, I know she's not acting like that, like calling Tammy out, calling Shawnee out of her name, talking about that she has receipts on other people. I was just like, oh, there's no way she's having you back. Because the way it sounded like Jen was saying she got tea on everybody, so she don't want nobody popping off, not even Shawnee. Like, you don't want to act like that with me, honey. I know all the business. So that's how it came off to me. Let me know if you got something different from it. But what cracked me up about this scene was when she said she got receipts, Evelyn was like, oh, what you got? Because she wanted to know. She wanted to know what Jen had, what Jen remembered about any conversations that they had. Evelyn was shook. And this is why, guys, this is why she's not coming after Jen. Because she knows that Jen got all the tea and she is terrified. Let's talk about the sit-down dinner with Tammy and Jackie. I knew this was going to happen. I knew that this is the thing. Tammy knew she crossed the line with that, right? She felt bad. She felt bad. She knew how it was going to look when it was all edited together. And when, the viewers finally got to watch it, she knew that she would not look well. So, she's doing damage control. I also do believe that she feels bad. I also do believe that she feels like she crossed the line because, like she said herself before, she's a domestic violence survivor. But she was still trying to justify what she said because she was saying that Evelyn told her these things. And I'm like, sis, even if she did, we weren't there. Leave that alone. Just apologize and move forward. She finally admits that she does have to apologize to Evelyn, but she brings up how they treated her and she did not like it. And I'm telling y'all, if you have just started watching the show, you got to go back to the first season. They dragged Tammy for filth. The only time they stopped dragging her is when she started beating everybody up. When Tammy started physically beating people up on this show, everybody got shook and shut up because they knew she had them hands. The only person she has not physically tried is Malaysia, because Malaysia is from Compton, okay? It's real, okay? That Compton chutzpah is real. Believe it. Believe it. And also Shawnee, because Shawnee is the EP. So those are the only people that she hasn't tried physically. But everybody else, Oh, they can pull up, they can get it. So that's when Tammy started to grow up in the ranks of the show, because she didn't have the fashions, right? But she had the mouth to clap back, and she had them hands. So when she used that to her ability, they left her alone. But that first season, oh, they treated her like garbage. Like, Tammy was the only one on the show who looked like an everyday mom. They look like athlete moms, you know what I mean? They were, you know, taking their kids to schools in stilettos and wearing fur jackets, and Tammy was showing up in a cachet outfit, you know what I mean, after dropping her daughter off at school. But to her, she's a mom, that makes sense. But to them, it was just like, oh no, you got to come with something different, and they were just brutal to her. They really, really were. So I knew this was coming. I knew it was coming, and I'm so glad that Jackie was there to be supportive. And I'm glad that Jackie is having a really good season. She's starting to get a different light put on her this season, and I think that's good for her, because she was getting like nasty, weird, freak, psycho, you know, old lady of the clique. Now she's becoming like, not the voice of reason, but she's becoming a comforting listening ear. That friend that will let you in no matter what, and will sit down and talk to you and encourage you, say, here, you can sleep on the couch or the guest room, you know, just get yourself together, don't worry about it, I got your back. That's who Jackie is becoming this season, and I think this is a really good look for her. So that's where this episode ends. Let's get into this week's episode. So Evelyn buddying up to Shawnee and throwing Jen under the bus. How to keep your reality TV show check 101. She knows that Jen is on her way out, so she's just like, you know what, let me try to make besties with Shawnee, even if I was, you know, 2 peas in a pod with Jen. Let me start to solidify and make sure my relationship is where I thought it was, and even get tighter with her, since I know that Jen is on her way out, because I don't want her to be looking at me like, you know what I mean, like Shawnee could be making them cuts or talking to, you know, her partner EP or whatever, and just being like, you know what, Evelyn should go too. You know, you never know what's up in them rooms. So yeah, she's securing the bag, making sure that check, you know, is there for her next season. I can't hate on that. Can we talk about how when Jackie first called Shawnee, didn't it sound like it was a voiceover? It was really weird the way her voice sounded. I felt like it wasn't her, that they hired some actor that sounds like her, and then they, you know, was able to get Jackie on the line. It was weird. What did you guys think about that? Did you hear like a difference in her voice? It didn't sound like Jackie in the beginning. Now Evelyn is being nice to Jackie. She has never been kind to this woman, even when they did not have any beef. Now all of a sudden she's going to her show and, you know, she's listening to her, not making any kind of, like, when she called Shawnee, Evelyn did not make any kind of, like, she didn't roll her eyes, oh, the girl, none of that. And here is why. I told y'all before, she is losing a valuable ally in Jen, so she's trying to regroup and make friends with anybody. And now Jackie is somebody who's looking good this season, so she's trying to get close to that and, you know, kill that drama, because she doesn't want no more weight or heat put on her concerning this rumor. Thoughts and prayers are with OG. The fact that she kept on filming, I was like, oh sis, I would have been like, you know what, this is it for me in this season. But she kept on filming, so good for her that she was able to still keep going through something like that. But thoughts and prayers are out with her for, you know, losing her brother to pneumonia. I was like, what? That I'd never heard of that in an adult. You know what I mean? If I had, you know what, I have heard about it happening in an adult, but there was something else that they was dealing with, and the pneumonia took them out. So anyway, prayers to OG. And OG did not need subtitles. Y'all doing the most. So let's talk about Jackie's show. Okay. So I'm proud of her. I'm proud that she's doing something this season. I feel like also when Jackie has something to do, she's much more pleasing to watch, because she has like some place to put all of that energy, because she's a very energetic person. She has like a lot going on. So when she can focus that energy onto something, she's much more pleasing to watch. And I was really happy with her doing this show. My issue is the writer. Because Jackie is over there doing the script, obviously in her head, trying to get the lines right, and this lady snaps at her. First of all, how much is she being paid? Because, you know, what you're paying her is not nearly worth what she's doing for you by bringing cameras from VH1 into this theater to film and promote your show. So I don't know if it was staged. I'm hoping to God it was staged, because that was a bad look on that writer for me. When she yelled to her, "Get this right, this is my words." I was like, excuse me? I hate, I don't hate a lot of things. I hate very few things. All of them consist with the devil and racism. Everything is under that umbrella. You know what I mean? Everything demonic. And but I don't hate a lot of things, but, racism, homophobia, predators, whoo, they get me. You know what I mean? Misogyny, I hate it. Oppression, hate, so it's all under that umbrella, right? It's all under a demonic umbrella for me. But another thing that I hate, one of the rare things that I hate, because I don't hate a lot of stuff, like I said, is abusive people in the arts. Because I am somebody, as you guys know, I'm an actor. I'm also a writer. I've also produced and I've also directed. I feel more passionate about writing, acting, and directing than I do about producing, but I can do it all. Check the res. What I don't like is that there are people who are not artists. They're business people. The business and the arts merge together to create the industry, which we know is like in Hollywood, and it's also abroad. It's also in New York City. Just those kind of hot spots where a lot of artists flock to so that they can live off of their art, right? Unfortunately, in that business where there are artists who are literally putting their heart on their sleeve, going into their soul and creating works of art that will impact people in various ways. All of it is for good. Unfortunately, there are people, predators in that art form, who are not artists, but who are opportunists. And they prey on people. And that writer reminded me of people that I have experienced and I have met and I have heard about and I have worked with within the industry, who are abusive to artistic people. Because I had a huge problem with her yelling at Jackie like that. First of all, it's embarrassing. Even if she was by herself and it was just her and the writer, it would have been embarrassing. But the fact that she had a whole audience, you know what I mean? Her daughter was there, her friend was there. There were people from the play who was there, the director was there, and this lady is sitting there yelling at her. First of all, writer, you're not even supposed to be on set. Why are you in a theater? The director is the one that needs to be giving direction to the actor. She's sitting up there yelling at her, and Jackie is obviously struggling. That doesn't help. Being abusive to somebody does not help them be better. You know what I mean? You're yelling at her, you're embarrassing her. She starts to cry and get her feelings, and I hated everything about that scene. I did not like what that lady did. How dare you? She's not even an actor. You know what I mean? She's somebody who's doing something for the first time. You're not even taking into consideration that that's a lot for somebody to do when this is not something that you have trained in. You're getting up there, bearing your soul. You're taking on somebody else's words. You're taking on somebody else's direction. You got to work through blocking and lighting, and you have to make sure you also, because a lot of people don't realize this, when you're an actor, you got to remember your lines. You also got to remember everybody else's lines so that you can know when you have to come in. And you also have to know those lines because you got to be impacted by those lines. You got to react to those lines. So she's doing a lot. And if you're not trained in that, that could really do a number on you. So I saw her going through all of that. And then when that lady stood up and yelled at her, I was like, oh no. I hope this was staged, sis, because this ain't look good on you. And I don't want to see nothing that she ever do, because I don't like that. If that's how you treat the people that come together to bring your words to light, you're going to have a real hard time booking any kind of professionals, because that was ugly. I did not like that. And as an actor, it hit me hard, because the writer's obviously not an actor. And she does not know the process this chick is going through to get her words right. I didn't like it. And maybe Jackie was unprepared. Maybe she was unprepared. I get it. Still, there's a way that you speak to somebody who is putting your work up on its feet. I didn't like it. No. So, OG, I get moving forward and, still, going back to work, still doing your routine after such a tragedy, right? I don't agree with it. Her mind wasn't right. And she even admitted it. You know what I mean? Because when she almost decapitated that girl, I was shook. And in that moment, I was just like, yeah, girl, you shouldn't have came back to work. You should, like, I don't know what you can do, though. You know what I mean? Like, one of the greatest losses in my life at this point was my grandmother. And guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember any of 2017. I don't. I just remember crying. I remember gaining a lot of weight. And I remember being very, very angry for a while. You know what I mean? So something happens to your mind when you lose somebody forever that you love dearly. You know what I mean? So it wasn't good for her. It wasn't good for her to go back. She just wasn't ready. She wasn't ready. And it just seemed like how they filmed it, it was really soon. Because they film every week. So they probably filmed her brother passing 1 week. Then she was off another week while the other cast members were probably filming, and then they brought her back on. So it's like an off and on for a bunch of characters. But they film for like 4 or 5 months or so. So they get like a lot. So she probably had like a week or a few days off, but even still, she just wasn't ready. I don't even think she's ready for the show. Like in every scene after this, she's breaking down. So I don't know. I think one part of her is like, this is a good opportunity for me, because she's probably trying to get out of football and go into something else. So this is a good, like, you know, I was going to say bridge to jump off of. Terrible words. But this is a good, like, you know, starter for her in a new career. So I get that, but oof, sis, you wasn't ready. You wasn't ready. So Tammy going to spend this whole episode cleaning up her domestic violence comments, and I think it's smart. You know what I mean? She got to do damage control at this point because nobody was siding with her. Listen, on Twitter, people were like, listen, Tammy, we love you, but nah, we can't. We can't ride with you. That man split her forehead open. There's no way anybody can ride with Tammy on that. So I'm glad she's cleaning it up because she is like a fan favorite. So it's like, girl, you got a good community. You're making big moves with your career outside of this show. You got to do squeaky clean now, because especially if she's trying to go mainstream, which I feel like this Apple movie is going to do for her, you gotta be squeaky clean. So I'm glad she cleaned that up, because it's just it's good to do, period, but it's also a great career move. Can we talk about Jackie's therapist? She's so good. That lady is so good. Every time Jackie is in a session with her therapist, I'm sitting there like taking notes from my own life. That lady be speaking to the audience. She speaks to Jackie, but she speaks to all of us, because when I was watching this episode, I was like, yup, yes, I need to change that. Oh my goodness, learned behavior, a mirror, what? Like, that lady is really, really, really good. I'm actually, you know what? Let me scrape some coins together, because I feel like it would be good to, listen, black people, therapy is good. We need it, okay? You can't pray everything away. You got to go to a therapist. You know what I mean? Faith without works is dead. You know, I believe in the Lord. I believe in Jesus. I pray. But listen, you got to start praying with your legs. You got to put stuff into action. And if something is not right within therapy, I want Tammy to go to Jackie's therapist. That lady is good. I'm going to scrape up some coins and try to see if I can go. Is therapy covered under insurance? Because, yeah, you know what? To be quite honest with you, just like preparation. Because things are like, and this ain't bragging, this is just me being honest, and I feel like, I don't know, maybe because like nobody's here with me and I'm just have a camera up to my face. I know I'm talking to you guys, but it's just different. It's like intimate, right? But anyway, I feel like I need to do something like that because life is changing rapidly, and I'm struggling with the transition. I really, really am, because there are times when I just feel like I'm just overwhelmed and I just won't do anything. And then everything just starts piling up. So I've been really struggling on trying to like handle everything that's happening all at once and handle it properly and not have a breakdown. Because life is good, but I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like, you know, you've been praying for something and really working hard for something for as long as you can remember, and then it happens and you're just like, I don't think I'm prepared. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. I just feel like it's like an overflow, and my emotions are like getting the best of me at times because I just feel overwhelmed. So that's why I feel like I need to sit in front of Jackie's therapist and be like, girl, help. Like, what can I do? But I really am going to look into that. Because I feel like therapy is good. I really, really do. I feel like you need to have somebody who is not in your life, who does not have any opinions, who don't have, like, you know, can't really talk to your pastor because your pastor know your mom and, you know, they grew up together. You know, it's just so many kinds of relations to certain people in your life that you would go to for advice. It's just like I can't go to that person for something like this. I need somebody who has studied the brain, who knows behavior, who can help me through this because I feel like I'm cracking. Also, shout out to Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child, who actually checked herself into, this has gotten really deep. Sorry guys. It's me. But she checked herself into a mental health facility because she was dealing with depression. And that's something, again, a lot of artists deal with, especially entertainers, especially when you have been very successful for a long time and then some of the success starts to drop. You know what I mean? Like, she was a part of a really huge girl group for a few years and then has not been able to reclaim that. And I'm not saying that's it, but I'm just saying, like, that's what happens to a lot of artists. A lot of times the applause taps into something, to not being seen, to not being, you know, or not feeling loved, and that applause means different things to people. But a lot of times when you're suffering, the applause means that I love you, like it's some kind of acceptance. So when that applause dies down, you feel unworthy, and all of those things that you were covering up with the applause come to the forefront again, and you're just like, I can't deal with it. But you're at the point where now you got some coins and you can really get the help that you need. So shout out to Michelle. Prayers going forward to you, sis, sending everything over to wherever you are at, and we are all praying that you get the help you need and come out stronger than before. Let's get back to the mess. You know what? I can't wait for this reunion because Kristen, now that she realizes that Jen is on the outs with all of the women, she is like backtracking everything that she said about Jen. Now she's not her sis. Now they're not as close as she thought they were, and now she don't really know her. I can't wait for this reunion because I really believe that Jen is going to read her. She is going to read her, and I think that Jen, knowing that she's not coming back, I feel like their reunion is going to be messy, and Jen is just going to be dropping stuff because at this point, nobody can really see it for her next season. I don't even think if other EPs wanted her that she will come back, because when other EPs want her and Shorty wants a cast member and Shorty doesn't, she makes it horrible for them. Like, it's such an uncomfortable experience, and I don't think anybody would want to go through that. That's why Brandy left. So I don't believe she's coming back, and with that, I think that's why the reunion is going to be off the chain, because I think she's going to be telling everybody business. She already said it. She said, I got receipts. If I was her, I wouldn't treat me like that. I wouldn't act like that in my presence. So, yeah, I think that's going to be the best episode of this season, the reunion. And I can't wait. Because you just know that Jen is going to drop all of that tea that Kristen was saying when she thought that she was amongst friends. You know that Kristen threw CC under the bus in conversations with Jen. You just know that she says some horrid stuff. And if Jen got a problem with her, and she probably will have it watching this show back, oh, Kristen, I hope you ready. I like Zell. I really, really do. If you don't know, he is the one who coined the term booked and busy when he was on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Now, however, he's unemployed. So he's been, you know, looking for work, and I think he was trying to find a spot on this show, and he just looked very thirsty. He looked very, very thirsty, like he was trying to get on, like nobody was talking to him. He made a point to talk about Jen. Listen, Jen is not the fan favorite on the show. She's not in a good spot with anybody, right? However, it's still not a good look for a grown man to be talking about a woman's looks, how she carries herself, like just talking down to a woman. Now, I get that, you know, he is a gay man who has effeminate tendencies. I totally understand it. He's still a man. You know what I mean? And he's speaking negatively, talking down to another woman. It just doesn't women's empowerment. It just doesn't, it doesn't look good on him. I don't like it. I didn't like it on Love and Hip Hop when he was getting into fights with the ladies, and it's just, I don't know. I don't like that. I never liked men, piling on a woman or getting in a woman's face or just gossiping about a woman, because I don't know. I just didn't like it. It did not look good on him, and he looked really, really thirsty just making those comments. I was just like, listen, we know you need a job, but you don't have to do it like this. You actually do have talent. You actually are somebody who I would and have enjoyed watching. Like, hello, he has funny terminologies, booked and busy, but to talk about Jen's feet and her breath, and it was low. It really, really was low. He just jumped in it right away, and it just seemed very scripted on his end. I don't know. I don't get it. Like, listen, I will say this. He was on point about the fashions being a little dated. It still wasn't a good look for you, Zell. It wasn't. I do hope you get a job somewhere, because I think he's good TV, but yeah. I didn't like that. So Kristen went from talking about OG when she walked into Jackie's show to then having egg on her face and comforting her after OG mentions why she's a little bit off. It's because her brother passed. And I'm just like, that's why those petty disagreements, it's not worth it to hold on to it. Because when the stuff that matters happens, you abandon it and you realize it's not that important. So why even hold on to it? Because that's what Kristen said. She said, I realized all the petty stuff that we were dealing with it didn't matter compared to what she was going through. And I'm just like, if it didn't matter, why did you hold on to it in the first place? Let it go. I'm telling you, your life is going to be so much better when you let go of all of those grudges. I am speaking about myself as well. I was somebody who would hold on to stuff. Let me tell you something. I used to, you cross me, I used to make a check mark. You know what I mean? And wait, you know what I mean? Like, wait for somebody to bring it up and be like, wait a minute, remember what you did to me in 2009? The person's just like, girl, it's 2017. What are you talking about? It didn't help. It didn't help because I realized I'm holding on to stuff. I'm mad at people. People don't know what I'm mad about. They done moved on, and I'm sitting here just, steaming about offenses that just don't really matter. Because when you look at it, it's like, you can't even remember. You don't know why you were upset. Me and one of my best friends, I remember we got into an argument. We were kids. How old were we? Like 17. Anyway, we got into this argument, and we didn't talk to each other for years. Years. And sometimes we were in like the same room with each other and wouldn't talk to each other because we were mad. And I remember when we finally decided to talk to each other, it was because one of our really good friends got sick. See? And we had to, we were forced to communicate. And then we finally just was like, okay, this is awkward. Let's talk about it. Let's fix this. And can I tell you, neither one of us knew what we were mad about. We just knew that the other person was mad. And we were giving off the same behavior. It was just like, well, you weren't talking to me, so I wasn't talking to you. Well, you were mad at me, so I was mad at you. What were you mad about? Girl, I don't remember. What were you mad about? Hell if I know. That's exactly what it was like. And we missed so many years of good friendship over an argument that we couldn't even remember. So it didn't matter. It didn't matter. If you can't remember, it doesn't matter. And I'm not, some people have traumatic experiences where they block things out. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the petty little things that don't really matter. So in that, I was just saying with this Kristen situation, for her to drop every issue that she had with OG right there because OG wasn't paying, it didn't matter. Because if OG had really offended her, she would probably be like, okay, I'm sorry this has happened to you. My condolences, but still be like, oh no, we still got to get that right because I didn't like what you did. You hurt me to my core. It wasn't that important. It wasn't important. So she just abandoned it and helped OG out. Let that stuff go. It don't matter. Don't let the sun go down. The show ends with Jackie's performance, and I think she did very good at her show. I was very proud of her. I loved how her daughter cheered her on. Like Jackie, I would have loved for Takari to have been there because it was a moment that Jackie should have shared with all of her children. You know what I mean? She really accomplished something. I'm not saying she hasn't accomplished anything, but what she did, not being a trained actor, not really, knowing this process, stepping on that stage and doing very well was huge. And I would have loved for her daughter to be there as well. And I felt that more because I saw the way her other daughter reacted. Shani, whatever her name is, that one, the one that's always around. I saw how she reacted, and it was like she was so proud of her mom. She was like cheering her on. Then they were both crying. It was a beautiful moment. And I was really, really happy for Jackie. I'm telling you guys, I'm so happy for her storyline this season. She looks really good this season. In the past seasons, they had her like a fool. But this season, she's doing very well. I love this storyline that she has. And that's the thing. When Jackie has projects and things to do, she has a much better outlook throughout the show. She stays out of mess and she just opens up her life to us. And it's fine because she's that entertaining. It's okay. She don't need to make mess like Kristen. She can just be Jackie and will, drink it all up. You know what I mean? So I really liked her this season. I really like where Jackie is going and just how her character is developing this season. Anyway, that's where it ends. I thoroughly enjoyed both episodes. I'm looking forward to what's to come because I think next week we're going to get the Malaysia and police brutality and dealing with police and her, next week is just going to be an emotional episode. And then later down the line, we're going to get some confrontation at Instagram and Amsterdam between Malaysia and Jen. And it's all going to be so good and delicious. And I cannot wait. So I will see you there. And if you like what you see here, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you next week right after this episode. Well, not right after because I have to edit it and editing takes a lot. But that night, I'm going to make it my business to put this review up the night of because I've just been slacking. Not willingly slacking. I just haven't had the time. So I'm really going to make the time to get these reviews up to you guys the day of. That is my mission next week. Whew! Hold me to it. I only will change it if I have work and I will let you guys know. But I will see you all next week for the following episode of Basketball Wives. Love ya.